Farg'ona davlat universiteti talabalari va magistrantlari diqqatiga. Ilm yo'lini tanlagan aziz yoshlar, endilikda siz yillik o'quv rejasida belgilangan dars mashg'ulotlari va mavzularni nafaqat oliy ta'lim muassasasiga kelgan holda, balki maxsus platformaga joylanuvchi video darslar orqali ham o'zlashtirishingiz, bilimlaringizni mustahkamlashingiz mumkin. Bu borada biz sizga yaqindan ko'mak beramiz. Ya'ni oliygoh professor o'qituvchilar tomonidan olib borilgan dars jarayonlari tasvirga olingan holda taqdim etiladi. Biz sizning mukammal va sifatli ta'lim olishingiz tarafdorimiz. Siz istagan paytingiz va joyingizda ushbu darslarni tomosha qilishingiz va mavzularni mukammal tarzda o'zlashtirishingiz mumkin. Farg'ona davlat universiteti rahbariyati talabalar uchun qulay va mukammal ta'lim sharoitlarini yaratib berishga hamisha tayyor.
Good afternoon, students. How are you today? I am a teacher of English. My name is Salohiddin. My surname is MUHAMMADJONOV. I work at Fergana State University and I teach you English lesson. So before beginning today's lesson, I want to show my extra books, which this is a collection book for first year students, Fergana State University, and I have again for second year, for third year, and for postgraduate students. Besides this university collection, I have extra books, roundup first, second, third, and IELTS books and English grammar. This is my extra books, which I use in every English lesson. So today's topic include in three themes. First, Uzbekistan. Second, modal verbs. And third, the spirit of the English language. So let's begin, dear students, today's lesson. In this picture, we can see Uzbekistan from Google Map. Uzbekistan is situated in Central Asia. So next slide. Information about Uzbekistan. The capital of Uzbekistan is Tashkent. So region Central Asia. Territory of Uzbekistan, the 55th place in the world. And total area 447,400 square kilometers. Date of independence on August 31st, 1991. Official language, Uzbek. Population, multi-ethnic groups. Today, population of Uzbekistan about 35 million. Uzbekistan is divided into Republic of Karakalpakstan and 12 provinces and Tashkent city. So next slide. We have today some text about Uzbekistan, so we have to read one by one, only one sentence, okay? So let's begin reading. First, Uzbekistan is one of the oldest regions of Central Asia, the main asset of which is a rich historical past. Already about 2,000 years ago, world-famous cities such as Bukhara, Samarkand, Urganch, and Khiva existed here. In addition to the archaeological and historical monuments, Uzbekistan has a rich and diverse natural world. Next slide. Nature generously rewarded Uzbekistan with an amazing variety of landscapes. The hot sands of the Kizilkum Desert side by side with lakes of amazing freshness and purity. Lifeless steppes alternate with green oases where in the shade of grape vines it is so nice to drink honey of the sweetest melon. The beautiful peaks of the Tian Shan mountains, fertile valleys with flowering orchards, huge cotton fields, and powerful streams of the Amudarya and Sirdarya. Ancient cities where from high minarets you can see to the snowy peaks. All this is Uzbekistan. So let's pass to the next slide again. During its long history, the Uzbek land has seen a lot. The rise and fall of the powerful empires of Alexander Great, Genghis Khan and Amir Temur, devastating wars, the rise of scientific thoughts and the erection of architectural masterpieces. Uzbekistan has repeatedly become the crossroad of borders, where different cultures and civilizations met. Thousands of rich caravans of the Great Silk Road passed here, which connected the Middle East and the Mediterranean with India and China. Along the life-giving arteries of the caravan roads, new cities flourished. The national cuisine absorbed the best recipes of overseas dishes, the secrets of which the merchants willingly shared. Today, Uzbekistan is a modern democratic republic with excellent service and developed tourist infrastructure. In Uzbekistan, you can engage in a variety of types of tourism: cultural tourism by historical places, ecotourism, skiing, horse ride, rafting, trekking, mountaineering, fishing, and safari. So, my friends, we have finished today's text about Uzbekistan. So let's pass to the next topic, which include today's lesson. Second part of this lesson is modal verbs. So what's the modal verbs? Modal verbs in English grammar are can, could, may, might, must, needn't, shall, will, should, ought to. We use modal verbs to express ability, to give advice, and to ask for and give permission, to express obligation, and to express possibility, to deduce and to make predictions. Modal verbs have only one form. They do not take s or yes in the simple present, and they do not have past simple or past participle form. However, some modal verbs have alternative forms that allows us to express the same ideas in different tenses. So, dear students, please pay attention to this table, English modal verbs situation table. So, all modal verbs, their functions. First, may, modal verb, request formal. So when we request something, very formal way. Example, may I sit down? Second, modal verb can. Request informal. Something when we request something in informal way. Can I sit down? Third, could. When we request something in politely way. Example, could I sit down? And next modal verb, would. Also request and polite when we request something in polite way. Would you mind if I sit down? Next, may. Permission, formal. So when we meet or when we permit something in formal way, you may sit down. Example, can, permission. When we permit something in formal way, you can sit down. Must, obligation. Something is not allowed or forbidden. when we obligate something fully. Example, you must tell the police the truth. Next modal verb, should. Obligation partial, when we obligate something in a partial way. You should tell your friends the truth. O2, it is equivalent of modal verb should. So we can use our modal verb O2 the same way as should. Obligation partial but less common. You ought to tell your friends the truth. Must. A logical conclusion and stronger than should. Example, he left an hour ago, so he must be there already. And next modal verb, should. We can use in weaker than must, a logical conclusion. He left half an hour ago. I believe he should be there already. Can, possibility in general. Something is possible in general. In example, we can see it can rain sometimes. Could. Also, we use situation possibility. Something is possible, but weaker than may and might. It could rain, but it is not very common in this part of the country. Might. Possibility. Something is possible, weaker than may. It is not very cloudy yet, but it might rain. And modal verb may. Possibility stronger than might. Something is possible in a way stronger than might. It starts getting cloudy. It may rain soon. And last modal verb, will. We use modal verb will only in the future. When we intend something. In a way, actions, status, intentions. Look at the sky. It will rain soon. So is it clear? So can I open next slide? Every time in our lesson, after explaining English grammar rules, we usually do English exercises about modal verbs. Because today's lesson, modal verbs. We use can and may to ask permission in simple present. First, any volunteers who can read? Dear students. Instead of students, I have to read today also. First sentence, can you see anything in this dark room? Second sentence, can I borrow your rubber please? Yes, of course, you can. Third, Kate can speak English. 4. Mike has got many books, so he can read them. 5. Can I borrow your pen? 6. Only a person who knows the language very well can answer such a question. Number 7. Most children can slide on the ice very well. You can find any kind of information on the internet. 8. British Parliament can issue laws and form the budget. 9. May I try on this coat? 10. You cannot talk loudly in libraries. 11. He can read and write in English. Next slide. We use modal verb must to say what is necessary and give orders or advice in a strong way. We use must not or mustn't to say what is not allowed or forbidden. We use don't have to when there is no obligation. So, first sentence. I must go to school from Monday to Friday. Number 2, we don't have to wear a uniform, so I normally wear sport clothes. 3, we mustn't arrive late and we must go to every class. 4, in class we mustn't shout, play or sing. We don't have to have lunch at school, so I sometimes go home. 7, when school finishes, I must look after my little sister. 8, when my parents come home, I don't have to stay in, so I usually go out with my friends. 9, when I get home, I must do my homework and I mustn't go to bed late except on Fridays when I don't have to bed before midnight. Next slide. Complete the sentences with a suitable modal verb. Use must, can, need. So first sentence, Sonia must practice so much if she wants to take part in the marathon. Number 2, if you want to improve your English, you must work very hard. Number 3, you needn't come to help them tomorrow. This work is done. 4, you needn't change the whole text, as the beginning is alright. John needn't tell us the rules of the game. We know them. 6, we cannot afford to pay the bill. Or in the spoken language, we can say this sentence, we can't afford to pay the bill. 7, it is already 6 o'clock. We must hurry if we don't want to be late. 8, she need decorate a room nicely. 9, you can take care of your parents. And last one, who can read? Anyone from you? Any volunteers? And last one, we can stay with my brother when we are in Paris. So we finished this exercise, so we are going to pass to the next slide. Next slide also exercises about modal verbs. Complete the sentences with a suitable modal verbs. Use must, may, can. Any volunteers? Dear students, who can read these sentences? These exercises I have brought today for you. You must not smoke here, or you mustn't smoke here. Second, can you hear that strange noise? Third, he may come today or tomorrow. 4, my little brother can count to 10, and my cousin also can count in English from 1 to 10. 5th sentence, this accident may have serious consequences. And last sentence, you can have a valid permit to enter. So next slide. Complete the sentence with a positive or negative forms of must or have to. Dear students, please pay attention these exercises, because we have to choose positive or negative forms of modal verbs. So first sentence, example, please listen. Don't speak at English class. Listen carefully. Brilliant! I don't have to study tonight because I have finished my exams. It is correct answer. Second, You mustn't use a mobile phone on a plane. Number 3, you can go out, but you must be home by midnight. And number 4, Joe doesn't have to go to school by bus. She lives nearby. And 5, we don't have to cook tonight because we can get a pizza today. 6, she doesn't get up early. She's on holiday. And number 7, you must study harder or you are going to fail. And last one, you mustn't drive faster than 120 kilometers an hour on the motorway. These examples I took from British Council's exercises. So today's exercises is finished about modal verbs. The third part of today's lesson, the spirit of the English language. Today we are going to about English language. Do you know about English language? Why do we study English? Why do you need English language? Any ideas? Who can speak? 10 or 15 sentences. I know, I understand, dear students, you cannot verbalize your ideas in English class. If you have mistake while speaking, I will forgive you and I will help you. Please speak in English. Who can speak about English language? The widespread English language. How many people today use English language? International language or English as a global language. Next, 1,000 years ago, it was the language used by less than 2 million people. You see, 1,000 years ago, less than 2 million people used and spoke in English. From the British Isles, English spread all over the world. In this picture, you can see British Isles. From these islands spread English language. English-speaking countries. We have 5 countries today. These are United States, New Zealand, Australia, United Kingdom and Canada. Canada also bilingual country today, but most of population of Canada speak in English. There have again French language, but little people speak in French, but many people are speak today English language. Now English is spoken by 300 million people on our planet as their first language. So native speakers today is in English about 300 million people. Why is it important for an educated person to know English? Before explaining this slide, I would like to listen your ideas. Why is it important for an educated person to know English? Any ideas? Please speak about importance of English language. So, people learn English as a hobby. People learn English because they need it for their work. And people learn English because they are going to travel abroad. Today, many people are going to abroad for traveling. Many of my students, foreign students, when I studied at university, such many students were abroad and they come from all over the world, from Africa, from Argentina, from Brazil, from Dubai, from Indonesia. In summer, we live in student dormitory, and we exchange our tradition between overseas students. So last one, people learn English because they want to read the books of great writers in the original. So you can read any kind of English magazines, in English newspaper or English literature in original. Next slide. English, the language of Greek literature, modern music, cinema, science, computer, mail, sport, transport, diplomacy, trade, business, traveling, and radio. Greek literature. Why we today call Greek literature? Instead of Greek literature, we can call only literature. That's enough. Why we call Greek literature? Do you know about it? So, next lesson, I will give you a wider explanation about Greek literature. So, today we have a little time, so we cannot speak about Greek literature. If you know English, you can read famous writers in the original. For example, William Shakespeare. Today, many people know about William Shakespeare. Jonathan Swift, second. Third, Walter Scott. And fourth, Charles Dickens. And last one, Oscar Wilde. These 5 writers, the famous English writers. Computer. 80% of communication between a person and a computer is in English, as well as in the internet. Traveling. English is the most widespread language in the world. Now English is spoken by more than 750 million people on the planet. So about 750 million people speak as their second language in English. And the knowledge of the English language gives people the possibility to communicate, to understand, and to be understood by people all over the world. In this case, dear students, I'm going to finish today's lesson, and I will give you some home tasks, and next time I will check. So thank you for hosting me today, and thank you for listening to me, and I hope you take for you some more information about Uzbekistan, about modal verbs, and about the spirit of English. Thank you for attention. I wish you good day. Thank you.